Yeah, yeah, we're coming through. I'm checking if we're coming through.
Should I? Oh yes, I should. I should take a looky through. Hey,
Alright.
Nero, welcome, welcome. Will you be staying today?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Well, maybe 20,
Yeah, yeah,
30
we're coming
minutes.
through. I'm checking.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. It
That's
looks like we're live, ladies and gents. So let's do it. All right. I take the review cover down, and then I do my screaming thing, which is good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the weekly
WAYPN.
What was that?
I was gonna say WAYPN, because that was like in the flow.
I'm Karl,
And I'm Sunny.
aka
Henry and Sangeeta.
Okay, I'm glad that that's over now. You've ruined everything.
Ruined everything.
All right, now you can read about somebody.
Unfortunately, just letting you know, I had to turn my volume on the iPad down because there's no mute option on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then
so
just
I won't be
close the
able to
YouTube.
hear.
Don't worry about it. Just
Oh,
close
really?
the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, you could, because I'd like you to do the reading. with
Okay,
the-
okay, one second. Let me put the thing back on. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Now
Are
do
we
the reading.
starting with this same person? What happened?
Navi.
Yeah, like my thing went missing.
What is happening?
Ugh.
Okay, I will read
Yeah,
it
you
out
read,
because Sunny is incompetent.
Yes.
Alright. This time focusing on the artillery rich. I
Artillery.
shamefully. What? Can
Is it
I
artillery?
speak? Can I speak?
Okay, sorry.
Yes, thank you. More Trench Crusade. This time focusing on the artillery rich. I shamelessly stole this color scheme online. I'm not going to mention the name in case it's not allowed. The neon bright color. No, you can mention whoever you stole it from. Alright, so let's take a look. So he starts off with what looks to be a dry brush synthol, but he's using probably a makeup brush like we suggest.
Yes, correct.
Because, like, it
It's
doesn't
nice
look
and
very
soft.
harsh.
Yeah.
Then, I'm not sure if this is airbrushed purple, but I think it is airbrushed purple.
Okay, I will.
I
think I just have.
Then, we move on to...
But it doesn't
Okay.
make sense. Why airbrush purple if?
You're going to do the zenithal? I guess because he wants to have a much more targeted one. Then he does some purple highlights. Then he goes into red. Right? Then after that he goes into...
Yellow.
Yeah, it's more an orange yellow, isn't it?
Oh, that's pretty significant yellow.
Yeah,
right?
and then finally into white.
Ah.
So yeah. No, I reckon that's a good effect.
Yeah, very lovely.
Yeah, it works. You know, like, I think... I just wonder, are you going to do
To do more?
anything else? Or are you just
Yeah,
going
because
to...
you got the trims and everything else. Like, you'll be doing further on that.
Yeah.
Or
So,
is this just like a OSL thing done?
yeah. Well, like, you can do just
You
an
can-
OSL and done.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with
I
it.
feel like if it is an OSL and done, like they should, Navi should still at least pick out the little buttony things on the cape.
Oh, yeah.
And at least put that like in the whites and then put the yellow back over it or something just to have
Yeah,
those
no, I
highlights.
think that. But I think also you've got to do up the flames and such. So, like, it's
Yeah.
got to be a whip, right? It's got to be a whip. Yeah, no, I think it's a
Please
whip.
tell us if it's a whip. Yeah.
But I think it looks good.
Looks good.
I'd be pleased with it anyway.
Yeah, I like it.
Alright, so then, after that... why are you over here? I need you to read over there. I need you to have the thing.
Why must I read over there?
Because I can look through the images while you read. You don't listen to me.
Okay, well, Larry says, Cutie Pie Model Star Destroyer by Bandai and 40% off to boot. Assembles quickly and easily with cheap cleanup needed. What? No, with little cleanup needed. Why did I read that as cheap? Yeah, okay.
Well, we know what you are.
Have to fill a few gaps, but otherwise are ready to prime and paint. Yes, Larry, yes. Now the sanity will return.
Alright. So I think, yeah, it's just a whip. Let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
Okay. So, Tim. Now, just before Sunny reads your one out, I just want to say, sorry, Tim, for some reason, it wouldn't let me tag you on Facebook. So we'll comment on this whip because he's been looking for additional commentary, but can you read out his post?
I am painting my son's first army while he practices slower on his second. I both love and hate a complex banner. This is going to be a fair few days of precision painting. Oh yeah, that banner is...
It does look like you need to get down some solid coats with it.
Yeah. Especially the whites, but the yellow ochre and the blue seems to be good. Solid coats.
Alright, you want to open up the next one?
Okay. Go to the next side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it all looks pretty solid. I think it needs a wee bit more cleanup right around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's gonna be slow progress for this guy.
Alright, well, let us move on to the next one because he's got another post after this one.
Okay.
Oh, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just more about the model itself. Like those two little strands coming off the flag.
Yeah.
They seem a little asymmetrical. I don't know if it would look better with like all four or.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
But I think that's just a sculpt.
Yeah, that's just the sculpts. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's a bit weird just having the two little strands off the top.
I guess.
You know, like I don't GW do as GW do.
Ooh, drinks. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's
Mama?
yeah. Alright, so we will move on to our next piece. You ready to read, Sunny?
Well, 1 second. I'm gonna put the drink there. Yeah, Tia. Just chipping away at more chaos conversions. Chipping away at more chaos conversions. Not the best painter, but I'm always pushing myself to go further out of my comfort zones each time. Background was replaced by AI. I like the background. It just adds like a little something.
I think that you know, try out the background shot, but I think also give us a clean one. I do like the conversion, but it does feel a bit pasty.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel, you know, very solid.
Okay.
I do think that the pages are looking pretty good, but what do you think of the power armor?
Currently, I think I'd like to see this image without the fancy background because it does mess with the lighting of it a bit, or like have better pictures of the guy in a photo booth because a lot of it is in shadow as well. And it seems like you'd need to really pick out and differentiate the different elements a little bit more. And yes, I would agree that with the lady on top, she's just completely white.
Yeah, there's no shading.
No shading or like...
I do think it's a
skin
cool idea
Yeah.
for a conversion, but I do think that the paint job
needs to be improved. But I can see that some effort has been put into the face, at least with the eyes. Like you've got red and then like a little bit of inner dot of white.
Yeah, no, I think that's coming out all right. But yes, let us move on to our next.
Oh boy, it's
also-
blue.
Yeah.
Yes, please go, Rumble.
But yeah, I've seen some other stuff that they posted earlier, and I've noticed that they do very thick coats. The coats are very thick.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing I'd suggest is probably just thinning them down a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think the thing on that is watch Brushstrokes Painting Guide on how to thin your paints.
Yeah, that's like his most viewed video probably.
It's almost up to a million.
Yeah. Alright, now we've got Luke. Hello, I finished the second model of my War Machine army. I changed the basing scheme a little. I think it looks a little better than before. I would have to say yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very much liking these. I think that I really like the glows with that.
Yeah.
And to the people of the chat, okay, feel free to say things when you wish. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for us. Like, if you've got a thought on something, just shoot.
Alright, so just going back to it for a sec, I really like the way he's done the glow. I think that that looks really good. I think that the mechanical with the flesh is just really nice. I like it.
And it's so super clean as well. Like I feel like this is quite box arty in my
Yeah, I feel very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel the same in many ways because I look at this and I'm just like,
man, a lot of effort has gone into this. And this is just 2 models. I can't
so
imagine
it's only one this week, which is this one. Like this is the old one. I honestly think that he should avoid adding all of the blood splatter because I feel like adding all of the blood splatter takes away from how clean and precise his paint job is. Right? Like sell your strengths.
I would disagree because
Okay.
he hasn't gone overboard.
No, he hasn't gone overboard with the blood, right? But I feel like take a look at this guy, right? And he just feels so clean, you know, you've got like all of the welts and that sort of thing. It's just such a nice technical paint job. You know, and like I look at it and I'm just like also he's done very thick highlight lines, right? But they don't look out of place. So when you're like 3 feet away, that thing's gonna look really good.
Is it because that the lines are nice and neat?
Yeah,
and
I'd say probably
clean?
because they're very nice, neat and clean, yes.
That you don't sort of mind that they are on the thicker side.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think absolutely beautiful job, man. I like everything that you've done. I like the way that you've done the grass. I think it looks great. I don't think that it's out of place next to this guy. I think that they are very cohesive.
Yeah.
I have no comments other than that I love it. Just, I don't think you should go in with the blood because I think that he just looks just schmicko right now.
How about you guys on the chat? Anyone has any commentary to give?
I like the way the model looks. I don't think with blood on like maybe weapons, armness, some blood splatter in a couple of places, but like again, just a little bit would just add to like it looking more brutal, like it's meat fight.
Alright, Vito, he's not allowed to speak no more. He's gone against me. He's gone against me. They've turned them against me. Oh, I'm kidding, of course.
Yes, he says.
Why are you so surprised?
But yeah, I would have to agree with Nero because it's just a nice. No, I mean look how brutalistic this model is.
Yeah,
like,
no, you don't need like it's like the horror thing, right? You know, when are things most horrific? Things are most horrific when you don't know how everything is, right? Like, it's the thing in the shadow, right? You can imagine what this thing does. You don't need to have that, like, because you look at that and you see the fine misting and you're like, oh, you know, it's not that bad, not that bad. Yeah, but anyway,
I guess
we'll move on. Alright, so next up, are you ready for reading?
Yes, I'll go over to my corner. And
Yeah,
we
you go
have
over to your corner.
Larry. Just have to wait for the primer to cure. Now I'm contemplating how cool a black Star Destroyer would look. Oh my god, honey.
I do believe that there is one in lore, but it was like the Emperor's Star Destroyer or something in some nonsense. But yeah.
This reminds me
yeah, okay.
of that, you know, that rotoscope animation that we watch on YouTube on the Star Wars, and then it was like Anakin actually decided to spray paint his TIE fighter.
Oh yeah,
in
sprays
black so that he can blend in with the galaxy. And he's like flying, and everyone's like, "Where is he? Where is he? I can't find him."
Anthony Gloss Black Master.
Gloss black. That's the one. So that's what.
Alright, it's time for reading again.
Oh, but I was having fun.
You were. That's why I changed it. Definitely not because it was just a whip and we forgot.
Okay, fine. So Larry, been a while since I showed this one, and all that had been done was the purple and black skirts. I have now added base coat steel and skin and the red shirt and sashes. The idea is to go from bright to dark, red to crimson to purple to black. I may reshade the crimson a bit. Don't know.
I think if anything needs reshading, it's the purple. It seems very...
Magenta.
Well, it seems very all over the place. Like, it doesn't seem like a solid coat. So, I'm guessing that Larry...
for sure.
No, I don't reckon it's contrast. I reckon Larry's, like, found, like, drunk wine paint.
Oh, yes.
Like he does.
Yes.
You wouldn't go near her?
Yeah.
The skirt, I don't know why, it gives me a very, like, meaty feeling to it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think
yeah.
it's the glossiness of it at the moment.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the glossiness and the uneven glossiness gives it, like, the flashy kind of feel. I assume it's supposed to be just fabric, but it gives me, like, like the vibes of the... like,
Here's my meat skirt, except not sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogue.
Oh my god. Alright, we're moving on. So that we don't have to think about Lady Gaga's meat skirt.
But she did have one.
Yeah.
It's alright,
I
I'm...
think it'd be like, damn, I could have just bought that much meat and have like enough meat supplies for like eat for a month. I don't know.
God, it must have stank. It must have been so random. Anyhow,
Ooh.
Joseph.
That's not bad.
I finished painting the enemies for Cycle 5 of Aeon Trespass. Odyssey, in the same weekend, I finished playing Cycle 4. Let's see if the spam blocker flags this post for having too many picks like last time. Dragon of Phobos, Medukitos, Nemesis, Siren, Urfleece, Titan X and Mini Titan X. Last 4 Titans awaiting paint. Final kill shot of Cycle 4 of Aeon Trespass Odyssey edit. I also just passed my third Dan Black Belt grading.
Nice.
Busy weekend, got a lot done. Yeah, you're always getting so much done, Joseph.
I love this picture. It's like, never talk to me or my son again.
Oh my goodness. It does look that way, doesn't it?
It does, just a little.
I love the water effects though.
The water effects look really good. It's just so weird with the painting. So like, they have such stylistic art. You want to go through some of them and give some commentary and maybe give some room for the other people to come?
Nah, you should finish your sentence.
No. Like just, you'll see when you get to them. When you get to the pictures of the artwork.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I mean, this is looking really good, clean, wonderful dry. Yeah, I see, like, it's got, like, glowing tendrils on the bottom, a little bit of a glowiness around here. But I suppose to keep things simple, Joseph has just decided to just keep it consistent, I think.
Yeah, but like, they're very atmospheric and they don't have as much focus on like the... I don't know how to put it exactly,
Oh, I really love this angle. Like off the face. You can really see the definition of the face, but because of that as well, I feel that there's not enough depth to the blue. It could have a little bit more, but then again, that's just me. I thought maybe the contrast at the very least of this blue gray could have been a bit darker. That was something I said last week, so I still stand by that. But I mean, for what he's aiming for, which I believe is like tabletop plus or character, I think he's nailed it. You know. I would say tabletop plus is aiming for. Because these are like game pieces for him, but he wants it to look pretty good still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have liked a little bit more of a gradiated shadowing throughout the body, so that the head sort of comes to the forefront. Because there's so much definition and attention, especially with the tongue, that I think this could have been a bit more of the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on all the pictures?
I mean, like, the monsters look cool. Yeah, I like the design of them.
It's interesting to see the different scales in the
Yeah.
same game.
Oh yeah, look, this is completely different, isn't it? This is like a glowing thing. So they're supposed to be like, I think, those deep sea creatures.
I do believe that's what they're aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah, because like this has a bit of a glow. This has a bit of a glow. Very gelatinous looking. Yeah, very different to how Joseph painted it, because I'm very used to him sort of bringing out the integrity of the art.
Yeah, I think like the problem is like what I was trying to say earlier was they seem very thematic, like that atmospheric.
Yes.
That the paint jobs seem more atmospheric than they do like good. As an example, they're very 2D art.
Yeah.
Like I don't see art like this a lot. It's almost like concept art.
It is a concept art. I do love the way he does the ocean bits. Like it looks exactly like real ocean waters, deep blue ocean waters, and
Yeah.
very well done.
But I think like I wanted to give a bit more time to this because he's put a lot of time in, but like this is the only one where I feel like it's much more sort of box art sort of art.
Uh-huh.
You know, like where you can actually see how it works. But yeah, we'll wrap up on this one.
Seaweed Man.
Seaweed Man.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
I think this one feels a lot more true to the artwork style.
Okay. So next up we've got this one. Can you go and read out?
Larry, fill in the last bits needing a base coat and use the black for some accents. Next step is finishing some highlights and shading, and then on to the base and weathering.
Yeah, so we saw this one last week and we made a comment on the red, but he was using a specific reference and we're like, the red is just way too powerful. But then when we saw the specific reference,
Yeah.
it just matched it perfectly. Alright, do you want to read the next one?
Okay, 1 second. Larry, base coat of neutral gray, then went over it with gray. Tried eye technique. I was reading about 4 ships, even though I wasn't sure if I liked it or if it would work on something this small scale. Put some liquid mask on some random areas for color differentiation. As I expected, it looks blotchy. I'll be going over it with gray again, and it may still be a little darker than the surrounding area. But we'll see how it looks.
Yeah. But what I like about what Larry always does is he's like, here's what my process is.
Yes.
Right? And see, like, though we might be skipping past some of his posts, that's because we comment on his actual finished work. But I think what's really great is you're like, okay, Larry, so why are we doing all of this? And he's like, well, I wanted to do that so that I can do this mask, so I can do this thing, and I can do that thing, right? And what I like about Larry is, like, the definition of you can learn new tricks.
Yeah.
Because like, he's just like, yeah, I'll try something new. Why not?
Yeah, especially because considering he is a bit of a veteran to the hobby.
Yes, to the hobby, yeah.
And he sort of come back to the hobby, and now this is his way of sort of feeling like that, have that joy of the beginner.
Alright, so, after the wet woman, I must have my stage. Alright. It's Member Monday, hashtag Member Monday. You know the drill. This is the day we take a moment to appreciate the lifeblood of this community. You! Whether you're a seasoned brush master or just painted your first base coat, this place only works because you show up, post your work, encourage others, make this hobby feel a little less lonely. Now, okay, I honestly need to know this one. No new members to shout out this week? Or so I'm turning the spotlight back on you, or you lot? Or tell me if I'm wrong and Facebook is stuffing up, because I'm pretty sure I've seen all of these new members before. Like,
Are you asking me if these are legit?
Yeah, no, because...
that one's new, yes.
Is it... So this one's new, Amanda?
Yeah, because you know who that is, right?
Oh. But yeah.
You couldn't guess by the third.
No.
Tim is already here.
Yeah,
yes.
and Eric's here.
Eric,
I
thought...
But yeah, anyway, so that's the main thing that I needed to check on, because I'm like, oh, what? But yes, let us move on. Speaking about Tim.
See, Tim's already here. He's been posting before that.
Alright, well, would you like to read out?
It's getting there. NC.
Yeah, it just seems like he's just solidifying the codes.
Yeah, well then there you go. Yeah.
Like there's not much that I can say at this point, because I'm like...
What I like about this sculpt is that at least the design is already on there, right? They just paint it on, like, you don't have to worry too much about like doing a freehand or anything.
Well, see, what I would honestly prefer is if you have two cloaks. One's a plain one, and one's one where you can freehand whatever you like.
Yeah, but GW doesn't believe in creativity anymore.
Alright, so that we've switched off the depressing, I'm going to pass this guy's face because I think he's ugly. And then we're going to move on to RJ.
How come you don't want to read it, huh?
Because it's just us.
Oh, okay, it's just a stream advertisement.
Yeah, we're just like, we're going to do Tokoko! I can't pronounce words!
Okay, we got RJ. This month's paint along for the KDM Discord I'm in. Got it done in 2 days, 10 hours. Used it as a benchmark to see the quality I could push in a reasonable amount of time. I think.
He looks very Super Saiyan-esque.
He is very Super Saiyan.
What do you guys reckon?
I don't like his face. Look at that face.
I think it looks cool. And yeah, it definitely gives me like old shonen anime vibes. Maybe it's like I don't think it's Karl specifically. I think it's like the figure itself.
Yeah, okay, I follow. It is such a weird set that, like, how is this held in place? Is this part of the earrings? Like,
do you need to question KDM models? Half of the
Yes.
women have tattered clothing and their titties still stay in place. You don't know how it works. Nobody knows how it works.
I'm glad that we have the
Animated.
token woman to say such things.
Not men's talk about this all the time.
No, we
Like
mostly
other
talk
men's.
about Rome.
That's
Have you
not
guys
true.
heard about the fall of Rome?
I
Which
think about
one?
Rome every day.
I knew that would be the moment that you spoke.
Technically, Rome fell twice. If we be
It did.
pedantic.
It
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But-
Can't keep a good thing down, huh? Can't keep a good thing down.
Anyhow.
So, shall we continue our
We
discussions
go
on
to
Rome?
Italy.
Oh, okay. Ruined it.
Alright.
Alright,
Just Project Whip.
so just a whip, we'll move right along. But I mean, like,
It's okay, pretty
RJ's
good.
whips are always really good.
Yeah. But I know why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say. But it put him on the spot or anything. But yeah, alright. Larry retouched some of the olive, painted the skull in equals gold. Put Nuln Oil over all the metal and some...
Is that freehand?
I would have to get to the part if he talks about it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to be reading. Metal and some other strategic spots to deepen some of the shadows. Put some decoration on the shoulders. I may need to do some touch-ups though. Put some fresh blood on the leg to represent a wound and blood flowing down the leg. with some thick blood on the wound area and a couple spots on the ground. The ground spots will be painted over. I'm just testing placement. The wound and bleeding was added to make it look cool, and the soldier tough end to cover over the soldier tough and to cover over a spot I spilled with red that I didn't feel like trying to redo the paints. Time to start working on the base, I think. That's a good example.
Yeah, I think that's what you always say, work with your mistakes.
Yeah, like incorporate it into part of the theme. You don't always have to redo everything, you know? But yeah, I guess nothing was said about freehand, so.
Oh yeah, you want to take a look through, let people comment, and then I think I've got something I can bring up, sort of show that idea as well.
Oh yeah, I'm very sure that 84 is freehand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
I like it.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks very written. Yeah, I think it has that militaristic vibes that he's going for.
Did you say military stick vibes?
Militaristic vibe.
You need to pronounce it more.
Right.
Pronunciation.
Right.
Yes. Correct. Alright, correct.
Correct.
Thank you.
No, it's not correct because I did say militaristic. But you wanted to say militaristic.
I didn't want to say anything.
Alright, guys, what are your thoughts? Oh yeah, I really like that.
I like the gun. The gun's pretty like it's very clean compared to the rest of the model.
Overall, I think it looks good. Just the base needs a few touch-ups and could be really good.
Yeah, I guess so. What do you think about the base, honey?
I think like we'll see him do up the base, but would you be able to switch to the camera?
Switch to camera, okay.
So full screen?
So I gotta put the review card
Go
on.
up.
And then double screen.
No, not double screen, the full screen.
Full screen. And then film full.
Yeah, it looks like we're on the just click OBS.
OBS. And then
Yeah.
No, this is your camera too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Alright,
Let's
you
see
ready?
if it works. Yeah, alright.
So we've got test models here, and what we're trying to do is have models where we can sort of show what we're talking about. So you see how I've got a bit of overglow here from the spray. You want to control the camera so that
Make
people
it
can
zoom.
zoom in.
Okay, I'll zoom it in.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to, instead of getting rid of that or painting in something, is I'm just going to touch some yellow around it as well. And then once I've done that, I'll blend that out a bit. And then just a touch of white to give the idea that the blade itself is glowing. Like with the heat of it. Sort of draw that across a bit. Yeah, and like we don't have to go crazy with anything. And I think this is what Sonny talks about, you know, like, they're just happy little accidents, so to speak, you know, we can really push that effect, just...
Oh, so you're showing how you could
Yeah,
take that mistake and turn it into something different.
yeah, and we just...
That was a happy little accident.
Were you?
Were you happy, or were you just a little accident?
Just the accident.
Just an accident.
But yeah, and so we just bring that in a bit, you know?
I
Just Add that here and there. Now we can have a warm sword.
Warm sword, everyone,
Yeah, warm sword.
as compared to a cold sword.
Yeah, cold sword.
Don't want cold.
Yeah, nobody wants cold swords.
I don't want cold sword either.
But yeah, there you go. And like, just work with what you got. Don't go, oh, focus me. Oh.
Can I change it back?
Yeah.
Reviews?
Yeah.
I think you can do something.
But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this sort of mixed media stuff. Oh no, have we been ignoring the comments this whole time?
Oh, we have.
We've been talking amongst ourselves. All right. So it's Sunny. It's comment time.
Oh, okay. We've got Tim. Very nice painting. Great skin. Clean highlights. Nice color choice as well. I think he's talking about the
Yeah.
War
Black
Machine.
spaceships.
Yeah. You would crash into something. Hey,
What?
am I not reading the comments?
Oh, well, okay. I thought you would get your little machine, but it's okay.
Alright. Wait. No, you told me to close the YouTubes.
I did tell you to close the YouTube.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Tim. You would crash into it in space. Yes, you would.
Yeah.
No black spaceships. A penguin, a sneaky penguin, slides in for a quick hello while his minions are at the testing room. Very good, penguin, very good. The blue looks awesome. I like it a lot. Tim, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Is that what you were?
Yeah. So
Every day.
Every day.
alright, so it's Talk Tuesday. Hashtag Talk Tuesday. Sorry for the lateness. We are currently in with support. Oh, why do I read my own posts? Oh, that was an experience. I was writing this post. I got all of this done while I was in chat with them. Oh, it was an experience. Alright, we all need a nudge. So if you want to check up each week, just comment. So Tim, I typed your name, and so I do know a different Holt. You know, somebody with the Holt last name. And it went through all of their family rather than bring up Tim.
Oh,
And like there was maybe 5 other Tims, so I couldn't tag him. I don't know why it did what it did, my dude, but I'm sorry about that. But yeah, like this is the post where I check up on you guys, see how you've all been doing, and if you've been doing well. And that's pretty much it. But yes, so next up we've got RJ.
RJ!
And RJ is doing some more work on the Gyo.
I applied some blackest black paint over the primer.
Yeah.
And boy, did it add a lot of texture in some spots. So she ain't gonna be smooth and pretty, but I'll still push her a bit more.
Yeah, no, like so all of the blackest black paints will have a lot of matteness in them to help them absorb the light, because they're going to diffuse between each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get that sort of
Texture-y.
well, no, that's how you get that sort of light absorbing effect.
Yes, correct, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's looking good thus far. I like the sort of wispiness that he's done with the OSL, but I won't make comments until I've seen the final thing. I really like the way he's done the red though.
Yeah, I really quite enjoy seeing the way he done the skin too.
But he's right about the graininess. It's really not helped him a lot.
Uh-huh. I guess in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it really an RJ piece without OSL?
Moving on. Before we have to
Think
say
about it. Yeah, it's true. I think pretty much a lot of his pieces have the OSL. Even non-KDM ones. Angela! After all this time. One ghost paint experiment done. I might still mess with him, but he's tabletop ready as far as I'm concerned. Lost most of the transparency though.
Yeah.
Live and learn. I have a lot more to experiment on. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, like that's the way to look at it. Live and learn. Don't worry about nothing. Worry about nothing.
I still like it. It still has that sort of, but it has a very wispy Chinese style look to it though, because of the way that they have sculpted the wisps.
Yeah, they do have that very particular, Chinese, Japanese characteristic where they do the
Curls and all that.
Yeah. But I think that's because of how, like, in cartoons, they did the curls of ghosts and stuff. Like, they'd have those wisps on them.
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to get that artistic vibe.
Yeah, because
So-
how would you translate that feeling of ghostliness onto a 3D piece, right?
So I think, Angela, for this one, like, I don't have any feedback because, like, the piece is completed, it works, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But you wanted to keep the transparency. You lost most of it, but you already acknowledged the lesson.
Yes.
You are making a face. What is the face you wish to?
Oh no, it's not that. It's just that you've hit all the points. But the thing is, I think Angela did one of the things that people get very excited about this new thing that they want to try. And especially when it comes to transparent models for the effect, people tend to get very excited about like painting it up, when the idea is to actually not paint it and do as little as possible with it.
Yeah.
And they don't like the idea of doing as little as possible with it because it's like you feel like, did I do anything at the end?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what happened.
All right. So I think there's nothing really to add. Is there anything that any of the boys would like to add?
Rome.
So he just yells out, "Rome! My legions! Give me back my legions!" But seriously, is there anything you guys would like to add?
No. So when she says she lost the transparency, was it a 3D print that was?
No, it's a plastic.
Translucent.
It's a plastic thing which is transparent. It's printed in transparent plastic. Alright, so we will move on to the next one, which is yet another one of our stream posts.
We've got Derek.
Oh, this one is so good. Alright.
Yeah, Derek is pushing himself to do more competition level pieces. So finished Abalam from Hera.
So, Sonny, I'm going to get you to just work with this guy for a minute and give your commentary.
I think the eye work is absolutely wonderful. I wanted to give commentary about bringing a bit more flush to the skin, but I'm wondering if, based on what he is he like a sea, underwater sea creature type of guy?
I'm not sure. So
that's why if he is, then having more flush in the skin wouldn't be
I think that
relevant.
the shadowing is really nice. So like we see it going from here to here, but we don't see it as much here, obviously, right? Because we can't see all of it.
Yes.
But I think that does look very nice.
So there's like a very obvious lighting effect coming in from like the top down.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think that's good. Like
So
he's
Sonny's like making.
Could I borrow?
Yeah, go for it.
So what I think, Derek, is that you've done a very good job of showing and carrying that shadow all the way throughout the center. But I think that's what was throwing me off about why this half of the model looked a bit flat. Is because you didn't have that same sort of shadow happening here.
I think that's meant to show. Like the shadow cast by his face. Just take a look at it, right? And you'll see there's sort of that same profile, if you follow what I'm saying.
Sorry, I'll go back to that.
So now go to the front angle. Right? Now draw that imaginary line you were drawing and see how his face sort of blocks it. And then it would be blocked by his body himself.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that in this lighting, this half should be a bit darker, right?
Well, see, I think that's one of the problems when it comes to taking these sorts of pictures. So I think the front on, like, I'm not saying that the picture is done poorly, right? I'm just saying it's very hard to show all of the shadow.
Yeah, because it's 3-dimensional, the shadows will shift.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, I wonder what his golden angle is, because that's what I'm looking at here, and I'm like, all right, what's your golden angle to photograph from, right? Where should you be focusing your picture? Because I think there, unfortunately, a lot of the time, some people, the way that they look at things is like that they'll only ever appreciate it online. Now, you're trying for competition level painting, so if you're not getting the love that you think you should be for this piece, like I hope that you're putting it up more than just here, because I think he's done a great job, right? But if you're not getting the love that you think you should be, I think it's probably because a lot of people will be quite amateur and not understand the idea of the golden angle. But there is one thing that I think you can improve.
Coming?
Which is your shadows. Your shadows are really deep. Because this is cream coloured clothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we take a look at how deep these shadows are. And like some of them I get it, but not so much this one or this one here, right? I take a look at some of the shadows. Like these ones don't seem as harsh as those ones. I understand the light will be hitting more here. But usually fabric is somewhat transparent and will carry the light through, right?
Yeah.
So
like this reads as a very thick fabric.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but
yeah, but it doesn't read almost as a fabric. It almost reads as like double layered hessian.
Yeah.
You know, because of how like not penetrating it is.
I think maybe because he's gone too much into the purples for this.
But
If he glazed over like a bone color, I think that'll fix it.
Mm.
But I don't necessarily feel like this is
I
wrong.
don't think that
feel
it's
off.
wrong, but I mean like if somebody is trying for competition level pieces, right, we should try our best to give competition level feedback, because I think that's the correct thing to do, right?
I wonder if I should just mess around on the Photoshop
We
before,
can-
but I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
I'll
but
do it
we'll-
on the side and post that on the comments or something.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Alright, so next up we've got Tia with a post which has
2 custom warpsmiths.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure what a warpsmith is meant to look like.
Warpsmith are kind of like corrupted tech priests, but that's some very thick paint right there.
Yeah, but I do think that for the conversion wise, like it has a lot of movement. The storytelling is spot on. Like look at the way that guy's sort of reaching over and everything like that. But when it comes to the paint, Tia, I'm sorry. We have mentioned this on the stream before, in a separate stream. Your conversion is the painting, so to speak, right? And the paint job is the frame to the painting, because that's what you want to show off. All of the hard work that you put into the storytelling of the conversion that you made. So if we don't put that same level of effort into the painting, it just doesn't create that level of drama.
Okay,
And,
I'll give an example. Can you switch us over to the camera?
Okay, put the review card full screen.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So here's here's a conversion I did to you, right? Now, this model does not have this head here, right? Can I just, you got me?
Yeah.
I'm in the right spot.
You're in the right spot. You
Yeah,
want to
just
push a little bit further up a bit, just a teeny bit.
up.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so it does not have this head here. It does not have that hand. Like that hand reaching up to grab the ball. But see, it doesn't have these little faces on the plates, all of that sort of thing. It doesn't have any of that. But the reason why I spent so long painting this, right, is because I wanted to integrate those parts. I wanted people to look at this and go, oh, okay, like they're not going to focus on anything. Like right here, I think the neck joint isn't 100% the best. It's not bad. No, certainly most people wouldn't complain about it, and artists are their own biggest critics. And here, my join could have been a little smoother, right? But the reason why you spend so long painting, getting all of the textures right and doing all of that sort of thing is because what you want to do is sell the story of your miniature. Because what you are doing is you're putting all of your effort into your conversion, and like it's cool to convert. There's nothing wrong with it. Great. But you need to have that ability to back it up, because if you don't, what you're doing is you're really like selling yourself down the river, right? Because you put all that effort into the conversion, but not the same level of effort into the model. All right, let's.
How about our guest?
Would you guys like to comment at all? You want to go back to the review?
Go back to the.
And then just press the button again.
Okay, once. Where are we?
So yeah, do any of you guys want to comment?
Once again, as you were saying, like I said before, the paint is very thick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right. Well,
let's see the comments if anyone said anything.
Oh right, because we've been in our own little world.
Okay.
Tim says Rome.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess that's
It's my fault for not having a unique enough name. Stunning. Okay. I'm not sure which stunning was in reference to now.
I think it might. Oh,
probably
Derek
Wong.
Derek Wong. Yeah.
And so.
Okay, so on stream I mentioned to Sunny and Cal. Oh, sorry. I'll just read over here.
Yeah.
Sunny and Cal, I would post some of my best models. I never claimed to be a good painter, but here are the 6 I could find that I think I did my best paint job so far.
Very, very thick painting with these ones. Alright, you wanna come over here, Sunny, and take a look at them?
So aside from...
You can lead the commentary for this one.
I think aside from the thickness of the paint, I'd like to at least point out that you've got the colors down, combination down very well. I think perhaps going into highlighting and shading might be a bit too advanced at the current state, because maybe that's not where you're aiming to be currently. But I think if you are aiming to be a better painter, thinning your paints is one way to go. And then we can take a look at perhaps how to make your models look less flat, more dynamic, and that will frame your conversions better. Like, this is a little too thick as well. I think it could. The texture is really throwing off all the work that you've done on the model, especially the base. That's not the best.
All right, we're gonna move on. All right.
Should we not look at the other 6?
Cause there's some other ones in there, and I think that our commentary would get a bit redundant.
Okay, sure, fair
And
enough.
I think like it's going to be the same thing over again. So this is when we were doing the streams, and here is our preview for the bases.
So yeah, base.
So there, this
This one's
is
gotta be my
Sunny.
favourite.
Sunny did the top-down views. What do you guys think? Just a word or two. It's okay because we'll move on to once we get to the final one. Did you prefer the top-down view to the other view, guys, or what do you think?
No, they're both good. I like as I said, the outback one is the brushland and the rainforest.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on because we've got plenty more to get through. So next up we have Lance. What's for sale? Fish, apparently.
Fish, eh?
Yeah.
What's for sale in the market today? Sorry, I had to put that lovely swimmer back for another day. I caught some fish.
That's a decent sized fish though. Like
Is that him?
yeah,
Look at that fish.
it's a decent size.
I bet it's a good eat.
But yeah, no, you put it back.
Oh, you put the fish back.
Yeah, no, all right.
I haven't
well,
been fishing in so long.
Oh man, my brother used to fish all the time, and me and my old man used to fish when we went out to the islands, and we'd go to the reefs where the ships were sunk. We'd just sit on the side of the sunken ships. Thinking back on it now and how rusty they were and how we were in shorts, it was probably not the
the best.
smartest. But my dad, he's a bit of a free spirit. He does what he wants. He in fact gets very upset when we don't let him do what he wants.
Yeah, this is true.
But yeah, I think they look great. I think like they are exactly what they should be.
Oh, look, there's bread.
Yeah, I think that all
Bread
of the
looks good.
all of the items look really good. I think that
I think the stripes could be cleaner, but look,
yeah.
they're trying. And the other, and this one, the yellow, I think could be.
Yeah. It seems like the stripes are where things went sort of sideways, but he put so much effort into each of the little items though.
Yeah.
Which I really like, because I mean, like that's what people are going to focus in on. They're going to be like, oh look, they got some pants and some socks.
I'm gonna go to this stall.
Yeah,
Like, can
no.
you imagine like a little D&D group?
Yeah, no, because they're going to be like, no, I want to get fish. No, I'm going to get bread.
And then they're like,
And then
DM.
they'll all argue with one another. And see, that's when you've got the headphones on as the DM, just like.
You know what would be great is that if you had some of these little items with little magnets on them, and then you could just like magnetize it to the base of the model, and everyone's like, look at all my loot.
It would get lost almost immediately. You know that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, like
But it would add
somebody
to the
would
fun.
collect all of these things. It's like, well, see, they're all dumb. I'm just gonna buy 10 breads.
Yes.
And
then
I've
I'm just
got 10
lugging it
things.
around, and that'll be narrative story there.
But yeah, no, I think they're looking good. Like nothing more to say. I like all of them. I think the bread's the best. I like the fish are done really well, but I do think that the striping could be done better. I think this is, the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those goats are trying to escape me on every end.
Anyway.
The bread's done up very nicely, but I think this one and the other one, the stripes, need a bit of work. All right, so next up, have you guys been watching the streams? Who's been watching the streams? I know that Rumble has. What have you thought of the streams thus far, Rumble?
They are good. No, they've been very good.
He has nothing to say. Because he's like,
Y'all never talked about my NCIS Sydney show.
That's
Oh,
right.
honey, what?
Nobody ever talks about it.
I watch what I can.
All good, all good.
We're in a very different time zone for you, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like y'all will have like a night stream notification, and I'll go to click on it. Be like, ooh, what time is this? Like, 4 o'clock in the morning for me. Too bad I got to work the next day.
Oh, yeah.
What about the
The day
morning
ones.
ones, the day ones?
I think I
Yes.
catch y'all's night streams the most.
Oh, okay, alright.
It's a
alright.
good way to get through the commissions and kind of,
Yeah,
share
that's
what you're
kind of
doing.
why we do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Sunny, would you like to read what Larry has said?
Let me just double check that I'm in the right spot. Yeah, okay. Touched up the dark spots and did some light dry brushing with cold gray. Might have to redo it with white as the shading a lot more subtle than intended.
Yeah.
Airbrush the hanger parts and thrusters white. Didn't intend the overspray on the back, but I had to angle the spray to get the sides of the thrusters. Going to do some washes with darker colors later. Maybe the dry brushing will show up better then.
Yeah, no, it's looking all a bit too uniform at the moment, but I do know that he's put more work into it,
Okay.
considering that it's a very tiny piece too.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Well, it is
seeing...
the Empire. Uniform is their thing.
Yeah,
and
that
they're-
is.
It's all all flat and gloss too, right? It's very minimalistic.
And we got some more Larry.
Mixed some brown pigment with mud effect and slopped it on the ground with some on the boots. Flicked mud spatter of 2 different colors off the brush to dirty the guy up. Hopefully it looks okay. Aim was a little difficult, but being first time trying it, lol. Then I added the snow to the ground. And used the liquid/puddles effect coming off the snow to simulate melt and groundwater. Then I put some blood on the snow below the wound where it also ran into the still wet water effect, creating a nice puddle of blood and water. We'll find out if it looks as good dry. Tamiya snow weathering powder on parts of the figure for frost and accumulating snow. So depending on how it looks tomorrow night, I just need to varnish. Maybe and be done, or I will need adjustments.
I'm not going to comment on it until we see it dry.
Yeah, right.
Because if we're commenting on it wet, then we're not really.
Yeah, we don't really have commentary to give.
Right. So then next up we have.
We have Tim.
Yeah.
We should probably look at the chats.
Oh yes, we should probably look at the chat. Sorry guys. Yes. Last thing said was Tim stunning.
Right, okay. Should finish his banner tomorrow. Got final touch-ups, a jewel, and one last bit of writing left. Then banner number 2, but it should take half the time, being half the size and complexity. Yay!
Well, look. I think that everything's super clean here. You know what I would really go for right here? Oil washing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to really
it's
bring
very
out.
it's very solid, right?
Yeah.
All of it's very solid. So you can just do a pin wash at this point and just That was very different sounds, thank you very much. You just made the same sound several times in a row.
No, you just gotta
Nice.
put it on there.
But yeah, so
Yeah, I do think a little oil wash will do it. Just give
just
it what
so
it needs.
much.
Because it just needs to define it again.
Yeah, because everything's fine at the moment. It just needs that definition.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tiny bit of cleanup needed here, but I mean, that's nothing. It's nothing. But if you have that definition with just so a pin wash is different from regular washing. Regular wash, you sort of put it over everything. Pin wash, you just touch the side and it'll flow with what's that called? Laminar something or other.
Laminar flow, but I think it's the surface tension.
Yeah, whatever it is. The point is
Capillary reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah, capillary action.
that's it. We made a short on it. We should remember it, but we
It was a
don't.
very long time ago.
But yeah, so I reckon that might be the way to go. Because yeah, like I think like everything's so solid right now. Like there's no highlights, but that's okay. Like if you have like all of those very sort of solid colors and like a solid outline, I think it will work with the guys that you have. Right. Let us move on. We got more from Lance. But let's check the chats as you say.
Yep.
So, no, still stunning. Still stunning.
It is. Lance.
Stunning and brave.
What happens when you're not too excited about a sculpt?
Yeah.
So I guess he's not very excited about it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, the basic needs.
Some work, yes.
Yeah, he needs that soil once again.
But I think he just went, I'm not gonna put any effort in. And like, look, you admitted to not like putting a great deal of effort in. I don't think it looks bad, but I don't think it looks great. I think it is exactly what you expected. Alright, so next up we have it's us.
Or you.
So all of the bases for the upcoming basing video with better shots. So I leave it to Sunny to go through them. And it's your guys' turn to talk. I'll just sit over here in the corner, looking at a base. Waiting for the devastating feedback to come in. It's alright, I'm prepared.
Sorry, Karl, I'm about to make some pretty based comments.
Well, what are you guys' thoughts?
The Aussie bases look pretty cool.
I think the forest jungle one is my favorite.
Yeah, I like the Australian, the like forest base and the rainforest base as well. The jungle one.
Oh, the jungle one.
The marsh one doesn't like it's good, but it doesn't really come through as much as the others do.
Do you mean as a marsh, or do you mean like it feels quite flat?
Just feels a bit flat. I know it's supposed to be because it's the way it is.
No, that's totally fair. Like, look, we're gonna be able to take on the commentary. You want to go back to the marsh one for a minute?
Okay.
So, I've thought about, we got some swamp tufts. Let me go and get those bases and the swamp tufts, and we'll talk about perhaps adding those. What do you reckon?
Sure.
Alright, and you guys can comment on the others while I'm away.
Alright. Any other feedback? Anyone else? One with the bamboo.
Which bases are we on? Because for me, there's a delay between the live stream, well, the Discord talk, and what I'm seeing on YouTube.
Currently, we are on the Asian forests.
Yeah, I like
I'm
the
seeing it on
bamboo. Like
YouTube
even though Karl said it was like, cheap, like Temu bought stuff, it does come out well.
Yeah, it's specifically for sort of decorative use. But he did go in with an airbrush and try to like punch up the greens a bit more.
To be fair, I did paint these, like, because the difference between them painted and them not painted is pretty remarkable. So I'm gonna grab.
Yeah, but it's just like any miniature though. Like it's pretty stark difference between a grey mini and a.
Oh yeah, no. So like
painted mini, so you
they come.
Already painted up with the
Yeah,
greens.
like they come a specific green. But yeah, I'm gonna grab that. You wanna go to the swamp bases and
Sure.
let Decimus comment.
Sure, we'll go to the swampy swamp.
Mm-hmm.
There we are, swamp for Decimus, but there's a delay, so.
There will so the pictures are in WAYPN, the channel. You want to take a look at them, Decimus?
I'm pretty sure by the time I pop open Discord, YouTube will catch up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah, I can see them now.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that?
I'll agree with Rumble. They do look a little bit flat, but you know, I grew up next to swamps, and that's basically pretty much how they looked.
See, that's the problem though. Like, I think like realism and verisimilitude are two different things. So, you want to switch to the solo cam? We'll go over. Alright, so gonna be
Yeah, there you
more
go.
here.
I'm not so sure if you should add plants because
Well,
I
see,
think
that's-
it looks swampy. Because I've seen the mangroves before, and that's what they look.
Yeah, so what I want to do is just add some of these tufts and just show it off to you guys. Do you think just adding maybe a couple of these tufts, and I should be able to remove them with just a little bit of effort, and maybe one more for this big base.
Yeah, I would say some of the tufts and maybe something that looks like fungus because it's wet, everything's dead.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Rumble, of the tufts? Do you think they add something? Am I in the right spot?
Yes, you are. You can
Sorry.
push a bit further up with you. That's good.
Why did you go with the black? Like, what's the
It's
mindset
a
with the
very
black?
dark. It's a very
in the
dark
tufts?
green.
Are you talking about in here? In the center?
Yeah, the tuft color. Oh, it's a dark green, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
More like an
dark green.
algae or. You know,
It's because
yeah.
it's
It just reads as.
Gamer's Grass Swamp. 4mm. That's literally
Yeah, it
all
definitely
it is.
adds something to it.
Alright, well, I think maybe then that's what we'll do. We'll
It's
just
very adding like a mushroom for a pop of color or something.
Yeah, I think, well, you know, it's not. We can probably just do that right now, and like we can add that to the tutorial because like that's why we're doing all of this so that we can have the recordings of these things. Want to take a note?
You wouldn't want to go something like a white or a reddy kind of thing. You'd probably more want something like olive or if there's any kind of fungus that's like that.
I don't think I've got any fungi sort of things that I could use. But I mean, I could bake some oats and put them in a couple of rows. But I think this will
Oh yeah.
do for now. No, something like this. We'll just add these tufts to it. Probably leave those two hollow ones hollow because like I think that just having that on them, having the water in them is enough. Don't think we really need to add anything else.
Yeah. To be honest,
Yeah.
like I actually prefer them without the tufts because I think that properly be that way. But I do think that when you look at it from an angle, the tufts do add some level of definition.
And with fungus, you can either add like, what is it, russolas and brittle gills
You want to move
for
it
pop
up a
of
bit?
color.
Oh yeah. Is Rossella the horsehoof one?
No, it's a very big, puffy, like white and yellow mushroom.
Gonna have to look that one up. But yeah, what do you reckon, guys? Just added those.
You want to push it up a lot more than all the others.
But it would also depend.
Yeah, it would depend.
I just stopped because it would depend on what miniature you're putting on there as well, like how
Yes.
well it would complement the base.
Well, see, I thought before I added these tufts to it, they could be great for Trench Crusade. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah, I remember you saying like you were adding, if you add like coffee stirrers and make like platforms or something
Yeah.
while having the swampy mud
Yeah,
and
for the
etc.
trenches and whatnot.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I think it'd work. I reckon it'd work quite well, actually. Yeah. Alright, well, there we go. And, like, guys, what I would like you to take away from this, do you want to switch back over to the reviews?
Sure.
Is that not only have we taken on feedback, but we've taken on feedback live, and you can see that rather than being like, oh, what was me? Oh. You want to switch through those ones while I do a bit of packing up?
Sure thing.
That not only did we take on the feedback, we took it on readily, right? We made it so that we heard what you guys were saying and then changed things. Because when it comes to these, right, I think that you guys are right. It did want that pop of colour. I felt that it wanted that pop of colour, but I also, like you were saying, Decimus, you were like, that's the struggle you have between reality and verisimilitude.
Yeah.
Because, like, you've been to swamps, that's what they look like. It's like, damn, this place looks terrible. I want to leave.
Yeah.
They do. They do.
I hate it. I hate being in the swamps.
Especially when you start to hear the gators bellow.
Oh, the noise they make. I know that.
Yeah,
noise.
that's the sign to it's time to hightail out of there, or else you'll end up as dinner.
Well, like, see, I think Americans and Australians are both on board with that, but like one of the biggest things we have problems with is we get saltwater crocs in freshwater rivers because, you know, despite being called saltwater crocs, they don't care about where they're going to live. But I think it's time for us to move on. So, let us talk about what Joseph's got here.
Here's my pre-review check-in. Work has begun on the final for Titans for Ale Trespass.
And yeah, I think it's a whip. We move on.
Yep. Oh.
Oh.
Yep. Oh.
Oh, it's us. It's us again. Alright, so this is our Teikoku. Wait, 1 second, I've gotta find it. There's something very, very important that I must find now.
On.
Yeah, put it somewhere, and I'll look into it. Okay.
Sure.
So first off, we'll click the post. That's my favorite guy of all of them. This guy right here. But
Yeah, the middle guy.
yeah. But we will let you guys give your commentary. We definitely won't interrupt with any specific noise or anything like that. Definitely not. That's not something we would do. So, do you want to give your commentary on these three?
Sorry, my phone was playing up. So are you going for tabletop level or a little bit different?
Tabletop.
Probably tabletop or above. Like, not we're not like maybe character level.
No,
A little?
we agreed to do it tabletop, honey.
Okay, tabletop. She's made her point, and it cannot be taken back. So it seems like it has been spoken.
Well, in that case, they look fantastic for tabletop.
Because yes. Well, We will move on to the next
but yeah,
one.
I like the color shift and the colors work really well.
You just wanted to do that.
Yes.
Hey, you.
And here's the next lot finished up. What are your thoughts, Decimus? Aurelius.
I think he's waiting for things to pop up. The delay.
Perhaps.
It's good that each character has like their own kind of personality as well, like the drummer boy and the guy wiping the sword off the blood.
Yeah.
I think that's what Cal wanted us to do.
Yeah, like everybody's got their own little character, but they're all still very uniform.
Yeah.
Like none of them.
And then you got
Go.
then you got like on this one with the drummer, you got the guy doing the robot and the other guy snipping the sword.
Oh, well, he's actually running, so, like, in this position it doesn't look so good, but from the top you can see it a bit more, the sort of 45-degree angle. You see that he's running along, so his sword is back one way and his arm and leg is back the other way, so that, it looks like he's running. But, yeah, and
Yeah.
then...
He's saying Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, what do you reckon of the Skaven with real hair?
It looks good. Like just bear with me. I've got children crawling over me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we move on from?
Yeah, we
this?
should come.
The Skaven looks cool, but it's weird because they of the scale of it, because they already have the molded hair on it, and then to add the thinner. Like real hair. It like the guy in the middle looks really nice. Like it kind of blends really well with him.
Yeah. I'd say he's the one that we sort of got it down the most. But yeah, I agree with you that it does vary a great deal. But we only sort of just got the hang of it. But there's a lot of photos in this one. It's just works in progress, and like what we wanted to show you guys is that, we're just like you. We just paint what we can when we can. But I'm pretty happy with Crow Dude. I think he came up pretty well. Like I'm pretty happy with the print on him. I think that these Skaven have come up brilliantly for something that we're trying just to be tabletop. They just look so filthy and disgusting, which is our goal.
Yeah,
especially this guy with like the porcupine hair with the other hair, like his little rat eye in there looks all sunken in, and he looks very disgusting. He looks like, oh my god, what is this thing? Where has it come from? Make it go back. Like you don't want to fight it because it just looks so atrocious. Go away. Oh. But yep, so I will try one last time. Decimus Aurelius Maximus. Has Rome fallen?
No.
Take that as a yes. We will check on comments.
Oh yes, let's check on comments.
So somebody is talking about a show that doesn't exist. And then there was this other guy. The colour of the red soil reminds me of my late parents' farm. Aw. Sorry that... I guess that must be a little bittersweet for you, my dude. But yeah. Alright, then we're on to this guy. Alright, so...
Who this?
New phone.
Gotta read on posts.
You want to read it out?
I'm not meant to read it.
Is somebody else meant to read it?
Yeah.
Do I need to have it on screen for you to read it? No, I think
I'll just read it, okay. Whip started on this magical girl kobold from Twin Goddess Miniatures printed at 200%. I got the base coats down on the red, pinks, and magentas with some highlights. Would love some advice on how to progress and make her really pop.
So the only thing that I could say, right, is since you're doing actual pink, not a red, just I'd probably like go really high into your whites when you're doing your highlights. So like mix your pink with your white and just keep going up almost until you're at a pure white at some areas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, because I think that's going to look really good because it'll still read as pink, just highlighted.
Yeah.
So pretty much the red is the same advice as we had for the red before. You know, just make it so that you do the, you know, you keep your highest red as your highest highlight.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think probably what you want to do is focusing on differentiating the skin from the actual pink costume. And I say just like go really hard into the flesh colors, right? Because it's quite pink at the moment. And yeah, I just use flesh colors for it. And I'd say...
well,
Okay.
I know that Rumble is trying to go for like a monochrome theme.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm back now. I had, as I said, I had little girl jumping on me, so she was
Was it
crawling
this
all over the
Cobalt
place.
girl?
Yes. But yeah. So basically the reds I've done, it was like a red oxide for the
Mm-hmm.
base, and then I've lightened it up with they're all Chimera colors as well. So it's like lightened it up with the red. So the red is going to be the top of that, the bows.
Oh, did
And
you
then
mix it?
the pink is made. Yeah, the pink is like the skin is made from the red and white, so that's how I've done that one.
Okay.
And then the skirt and the little thing is magenta as well. So I've used magenta instead of
Yeah, I think that's fine.
mix,
I
so it's
think
like a different thing.
just add the white to that mixture, and yeah, just if you want to stay within the pink there, so just add white to that mixture as well to highlight. But just remember with the red to leave the red as your highest highlight, and I think that's about all we can say, right?
Yeah. And as for the horns and the what is that? The staff. You can use like red tone browns.
Yeah.
And that will still keep within that monochromatic theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, like
I was looking at shifting it more like a yellowy cream.
oh, okay. If you wanna add a cream in there, yeah, just do your regular bone color. But alternatively, if you want to have like really strong contrast, you could make it a black staff. That's an option.
Nah, I wouldn't agree because the black staff would really throw off the sort of cutesy vibe of this. It will make it really sort of dark.
Well,
Dark feeling, like dark magic feeling.
well, then what do you think about just a straight white?
Yeah, it could be white, like, or if he wants to, like I said, if he still wants to match the material, just use a red tone version of it. You know, red tone browns or whatever. Highlight your way up to.
Yeah.
So
Like a
you're.
mahogany of some kind.
Yeah. And then when you highlight your way up, you just mix a little bit more of the pink in with the highlighted colors so that it just stays within the color family. Yeah.
I would agree with this.
All right. So move on.
All right. Yes. So let's move on.
We got Larry. Thin some Starship wash and put some on the bottom. It was too strong, so I used a brush loaded with water to really thin it down and slopped it everywhere and daubed up the excess with a paper towel. Looks okay, I think. Just need to either dry brush with the base color or pat it on the makeup sponge or similar. Unless there are other suggestions, included the untouched top for reference.
I'm not a big fan of the Starship wash because I think it throws the scale off a lot. Because, you know, we're so used to those sort of tide marks with that. So
with this particular guy. Is this Millennium Falcon? No, right?
No, this is a Star Destroyer. The Millennium
Star
Falcon
Destroyer,
is like will
It's a
barely
circle.
would be like one of those dots within the hangar bay.
But I wonder why. Wow. Shit.
Yeah.
But I wonder. So it has those sort of tide markings and everything. Does it have that?
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Oh, okay.
You know, like,
I'm very used to it seeing it like very clean and pristine.
yeah. So no, I'm saying like I don't think that those tide markings suit it. So I think we'll move on. We'll see if we've got. Oh, we do have some more Larry,
Larry,
but it is some
A different
battle tech. So we'll just check the comments.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so still the same last comment from
Alright,
Penguin.
all good. Just realized I never finalized this guy as done, so I rimmed the base, put on a stencil, and stippled on some army painted demonic yellow finish.
I think it looks great. Do you want to come up here and do some commentary on this one, or do you just want to do it together?
I can do it on the iPad here.
Because I'm just going to have to pop off for a second. You're going to have to go and do the next one by yourself for a bit.
Okay, sure. All good. One moment, guys. Gotta put the iPad down. Okay. Well, I think he's looking good. Definitely good definition on the face, giving that skull-like look. I think the hazard stripes turned out very nice. Looks just like real hazard stripes. I think the only thing I would say is that he's looking a bit flat. He could use a bit of, I don't know, edge highlighting or a little bit more definition and shading in the panels. What do you guys think? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
I do also notice that there's the chipping underneath here, the chipping medium that he went for, but the value of the upper metal and the under metal is the same to the point that you can't really tell the difference. Like I think if you used a much brighter steel underneath and then the chipped paint came off, it'll show through a lot better. But you know,
Because the only chipping that I could see is like on the back leg that's like extended out a little bit.
yeah. I think this was one of the models that he tried out the chipping medium on, but it didn't 100% give the effects. But I think it works. It's just that the metal underneath needs to be brighter.
Mucho brighter.
Yeah. I think it's good though. Could use a little bit more contrast, I think, but it's good for what it is. Alright, anyone else has anything else to give feedback on?
No.
No? Alright, so we will move along to...
Decimus, where were you when the Tokoku models were lit?
Alright.
Alright, you want to read out this one and I'll...
Yeah, I'll go back to my iPad. 1 second.
He's too busy watching the tornado.
I thought the tornado disappeared already. Anyhow, Larry. Alrighty then, last one of the day. Meet Joe. Sergeant Joe Krieger. I decided I didn't really need to do any more, so did the base rim and done. The general color palette pattern I had in mind when I started, but see anyway, I hope you like him. I do like him.
So I think the base looks really fantastic. I think that the way that you've had the blood run in helps bring the eye to that leg wound, right? Because at certain angles you can't see the blood at all, but you see the effect of it, right? And especially where it bleeds into the snow, that looks absolutely fantastic. I think that looks crisp as hell. But what I do think doesn't quite fit is the little speckles
Yeah.
of white.
I was going to point that out. So that I
Alright,
think
you
was
go right ahead.
so I think that was supposed to be like mud spatter that he mentioned earlier.
Well, snow as well. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
meant to be snow sticking to him, but I don't feel like it
It doesn't
feels
quite
that
fit.
way.
Yeah, like, I think if he added a bit of the pigment powder at the base of the trench coat, it might help bring it together a bit. But
I don't know. I think like if you were gonna do that, what I'd probably do is I'd probably use the micro balloons over.
oh yes,
That
the
kind of-
actual snow rather than splattering.
Well,
it
no,
on.
because I think he's using the AK interactive snow that we use, but it's this one, not the micro balloons one. So he's used that for the frost, and I think that it looks good with the frost and the bleeding in and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that for the stuff stuck on him, it doesn't look nearly as good.
Yeah. I agree.
But guys, what do you think of our little Krieger?
I like the green.
You like the green?
Yes.
Thank you, Decimus, for your
Any
very
more
detailed.
any more
feedback.
thoughts on that one?
It's about to trigger my PTSD from my army days.
Oh, well, perhaps we should move along then.
No, it's all right. It's all right. He's having a go.
For
All
the
right.
president.
Hey.
All the men showers.
So the
I don't understand.
he's got his popping stick that also explodes.
Popping stick that also explodes.
So the German hand grenades were on a stick,
Oh.
and so they threw them like that. But like the American ones were made like a baseball. Like they specifically made it in the shape and size of a baseball because they're like, there ain't no American who don't know how to throw a baseball.
Right.
Like that was an actual quote.
That's literally true. Yes,
yeah, I
that
know.
is true.
I know.
It's like
I-
so deeply ingrained in the culture that they just used it.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah, come out of the womb.
Yeah.
I think that's
I came out of the womb swinging. My mama always told me I gave her the best punches.
Jesus
But what's in the
Christ.
Krieg's hand? That's not a grenade. That's a trench club. It's just made
Oh,
for pure
trench
bonking.
club.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
No,
You know,
Charlene's here.
I think like it's funny the way that people lost the saber because they used to have swords,
Oh yes.
but essentially when they'd command, they'd point with the sword, and they'd be the enemy, and they've got a gun, and they're like,
Oh shit.
no, they wouldn't be like that. They'd just be like, no, backwards.
Sorry.
They'd see the shininess of it, and they're like, hey, that's a guy over there.
Oh,
they just-
and then they pop him. Right?
Yeah, and they just kill him because like he made himself an easy target.
But
'Cause
don't they have them sheathed? Oh, where they take it out.
well, because they're used to commanding with a live sword, not with a
It's a
sheath one.
sheathed
Because the
one.
sheath one, it's on your hip,
Yeah.
so you'd have to take
Take
the
it
whole
out.
thing.
That's right.
But yeah, so
Fair enough.
I think that it looks great, Larry. I think that you've done really well. I do think that if you get the powdered snow and just lightly put it on, just like we did with our snow base.
The top, some tunnel.
Yeah. So,
So?
let us move on.
2. Kurisha.
Ah, yes, he got in this time.
Yeah.
He got in.
As usual, metallics seem hard to take photos of course. But
Yeah.
another chaos character done. This time I didn't use my army colors. Yeah, it has a feel, a Nurgle-y feel. Is he a Nurgle guy? He is a Nurgle guy.
Yeah, because rust and green. You know.
Yeah, but that aside, the horse has that classic sort of ball with holes that
Oh,
the
yeah,
Nurgle
yeah.
people have. That
Not just that, he's also got like stag horns instead of the regular sort of smooth bull horns.
yeah, bullhorn. So this one is definitely a Nurgle fella.
I think it looks great. Like, I'm gonna feel really bad about this, Because I have no commentary on him. Because I think.
I'm not.
Well, you've got commentary. You go for it.
I'm not a super huge fan of the blue highlighted black for the tail.
Oh yeah.
I think you should have kept it a bit more natural because I understand that you're going for like a warp infested.
Well, I think he's
creature.
going for more a sort of more comic booky feel. You know, a more sort of.
I just feel like with his paintings.
Retro.
I feel like with his painting style that just throws it all away. Just throws it all away. I think you should have gone with a more natural body. I like the red tortured look of the horse. Like that's the.
Do you mean the Chaos brand?
Oh, is that what? Oh.
Yeah, so if you take a look through one of the angles, it's very obvious. This one right
Okay,
here.
I see it now. The Chaos brand, yeah, like that all looks really good. I think if he went with like a very sort of dead, graying hairs of the tail,
Oh, yeah.
that would really sell it because you've got such cohesion in the theme. You've got nice greens, nice natural colors. I think if you wanted to go for something like a pop of color that's unnatural, you should have focused it on the tentacle arm.
Oh yeah.
If that's what you wanted to do, but the horse, I think it just really, it makes it feel childish. I'm sorry to say, Chris, it just made it feel very like my kid painted this because my kid wants to paint whatever color he wants on his thing.
I disagree with that sentiment. I think it looks very sort of classic GW style. But
I suppose.
we're allowed to disagree, and so are other people. So, what do you guys think of the horse?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting like 90s vibes from it.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think one more point of critique.
yeah.
He should add a little bit of rust effects on that chainmail for the
Yes.
horse.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Can't be Nurgle without rust.
Yeah.
Well, he does have rust in other areas,
but like that
like
being
on the
such a
shield?
predominant.
but I think the reason why he didn't do it with the chainmail is because chains are always hitting one another. Just and you think about it on a horse, just sort of. It's always going to be bouncing back and forth. So when is the rust going to form? Like
Yeah, I guess so.
So I think that's why he did it that way. Also, it gives some contrast.
Yeah.
You got the bright against darker colours and so on.
Yeah. Any chats?
Yes, I will go and check that now. Okay, so Penguin said I like the Krieger. I would like to do some winter bases.
Oh.
Were those tundra bases interesting to you? But yeah, alright. So,
Next we got John Ross. My Stargrave models are coming along, although not progressing as fast as I would like. However, at least it's something. Such is life in the periphery. I think they're looking great.
So here's my thing with you, because we've talked on the Discord a bit and in other areas. My thought is now, because you're saying like things are getting tough where you are and getting hobby stuff is getting tougher, now is the time to step up. Now is the time to start upping your game with your paint job. Start painting the guys in ways that you usually wouldn't. So like more highlights, more scratches on the leather, blah, 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 right? Whatever it might be, just start pushing yourself. And because these are great models, I like the Stargrave model. I think that they're fantastic.
What I really enjoy is the way that he's done the trench coats. It's got like
Yeah.
those little undertones of blues, and then you've got the darker shading at the bottom.
Yeah, because I figured that he's going to mud those up,
Yeah.
down around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like all of that will look really good, and you want to get guys out, and I get that, right? But my question is, how many games are you getting in with these different guys? Because that's the thing that I would look at, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like, how's it going to go? All of that sort of thing. And when you do all of that, just think about it in that way. Don't think about it in terms of like, oh, well, like they're already painted, just go, all right, well, I'm just mastering my craft. And you can go start off with the leader and the first mate and just do them up a bit more. And then maybe do up the leader and first mate of the other ones, right? And I think that's one of the great things about Frostgrave. It allows you to have different levels of paint jobs on your guys, and that to be appropriate. But yes, so I think that's it. We'll click off here, and yeah, I'll do one refresh
Oh, but we always said that we stopped at the
thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if there's anything before the magic line.
No, he's the last post.
All right. Well, switch over to the camera so that we can wait. You know what? I'll switch over to the double screen. There we go. I'll just double check these. Alright, so we got the I hope you like the little song that I made for you guys. Alright,
Oh,
so
it's beautiful.
yeah.
Because shows up now every time you sing.
Alright, well you wanna go over?
I am here.
Yeah,
Okay, over there.
to your camera. Because we've got to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Because time is the currency of life. Nothing is more precious than your time. We want to thank you for joining us. So, as always, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye, everyone. Goodbye.